Hi, my name is Benjamin Halpern. I'm a psychotherapist and an anxiety, fear, panic, and stress specialist. I'd like to share with you in this series of videos what I have learned from treating thousands of people who struggled with anxiety, fear, panic, and stress, and how to be able to overcome it and once again live the life that you deserve and desire fully. First and foremost, are you unique that you struggle with some sort of anxiety disorder? And the answer is no. The most recent study shows that 40 million Americans struggle with some sort of anxiety disorder. That means to say, if you're in a million of 10 people, 2 people, 18% of society. If you're in a classroom with 30 kids, 6 people. So if you're at work, there are people around you that are struggling with an active anxiety disorder. Now, when they're referring to an anxiety disorder, they're referring to something that really affects the way they classify it, love and work. In other words, your ability to function with people, your social life, and your ability to function at work, your functional and performance life. If it doesn't substantially hamper, then you don't qualify for an anxiety disorder. Then you just have anxiety, but not an anxiety disorder. So we add that to the equation, an enormous amount of people, and many of you watching this video today, anxiety is affecting the quality of your life. And you don't have to continue living with that. This problem costs America $42 billion a year. And I believe we can substantially lower the cost and increase the quality of life of people by teaching them the skills that we're going to go over in these videos. So first of all, what causes anxiety? Who gets anxiety? So let's talk about who gets anxiety. In my opinion, there are 3 ingredients that make up anxiety: creativity, sensitivity, and intelligence. In order for you to have an anxiety disorder, in order to experience anxiety in a big and a way that can affect the quality of your life, you need to have creativity. You need to have the skill, the ability to be able to see something and create something in your mind, have a vision and actually create it so vivid. Then you need to have the skill of sensitivity. You need to become afraid or affected by the beautiful and realistic image that you created in your mind. And then you need intelligence to have the knowledge of what can go wrong and how to be able to develop this creativity in a way that actually is so vivid and real that your sensitivity affects you, and then you have the full-blown experience. But if I was to say creativity, sensitivity, and intelligence, those are some of the 3 skills, probably the top 3, that I would want and wish for anybody in my life, for my children, for my siblings, and I'm sure you would want the same. So creativity, sensitivity, intelligence are the biggest brachas. However, that's when they work for you, when you use your creativity, when you use your sensitivity, and when you use your intelligence. However, if creativity, sensitivity, and intelligence in essence uses you, where you create a beer or a heart attack or some other scary event in such vivid detail, and your sensitivity makes you be so afraid of the beer or the heart attack that you created, and your intelligence adds the quality details to make it so real, now it's destroying your life. The difference of somebody that has creativity and sensitivity and intelligence and somebody that doesn't have it in that amount is a difference between watching a video on a smartphone versus watching it on an IMAX screen. If you watch a video on an iPhone, as scary as it is, it's not going to scare you to death and have an enormous impact on your emotions. But if you watch the same video on an IMAX screen that's 6 stories high with 3D glasses and surround sound, it's a whole different experience. When you have creativity and you have sensitivity and you have intelligence, that's like the IMAX screen, the surround sound, and the 3D glasses. And whatever you're going to imagine is going to be so real and vivid. So 3 of the greatest attributes, by not managing them correctly, will develop into an anxiety disorder where your emotions are so loud and so overwhelming that they affect the quality of your life. So we're going to learn how to be able to manage emotions effectively, so therefore they work for you and not against you. But I want to cover one other important point, and that is, does anxiety mean that I'm missing emunah and betachon? And I think it's very, very important on the outset of these skills to go over that, because many people who have come to my office have believed that anxiety means that they're missing emunah b'tachon. I've had this discussion with the mashgiach, Zazayin Gezotra Matasyo, and he clearly told me that while it's true that if somebody was born with perfect emunah and perfect b'tachon, they probably would not develop an anxiety disorder, but were born by Hashem as young babies with no ability and no understanding in the concepts of emunah and b'tachon. And we develop certain patterns to manage our life. And many of them are anxiety type of patterns that create anxiety. Now, once we develop those habits and those patterns, just because we learn about emunah b'tachon doesn't undo the old pattern. For example, if I go through a difficulty in my life and my coping mechanism was to bite my nails, even though that difficult event in my life goes away, I still have the habit of biting my nails because it was already installed. Similarly, when we develop these different patterns of thinking and behavior in our lives, when we were young and we didn't yet have a full-blown skill set of emunah b'tachon to be able to manage it and navigate it, so we have these bad patterns that exist in our life, as well as sometimes we had a traumatic event. In order to process with that traumatic event at a young age, when we didn't yet have a full skill set and tool set to be able to navigate it and manage it, we winded up using skills and tools that worked at that time that today wind up driving our anxiety, our fear, our panic, and our stress. So it has nothing to do with lack of emunah b'tachon. However, once you overcome your anxiety and change these patterns and become anxiety-free, your emunah b'tachon that you worked on for years to develop will keep it in place and protect you from falling back into this trap again in the future. So I look forward to be able to work with you on your anxiety, fear, panic, and stress, to give you the skills and tools to overcome it. I'm excited to be able to share this with you, and I look forward to meeting you in the next video.